So this is disappointing, all right? The Hall of Fame game, which is the first game of the NFL season. Everyone's going to say, what are you talking about? It's Chiefs-Ravens. No, stop. All right, and I don't want to hear a damn thing about the Brazil game either, okay? The Hall of Fame game is the first game of the NFL season, and the Hall of Fame game is tomorrow night. It's already here. Bears, Texans in Canton, Ohio, first football game of the year. And apparently, it's not really going to look like a real football game because according to Matt Eberflus, the head coach of the Chicago Bears, he's made a decision on who's going to be a part of it.
So big news for today. Starters are not playing in the Hall of Fame game. We feel really good where they are right now in terms of the pads practices we had. We've had 3 so far, and then we have another one tomorrow. And have a lot of good work, 1s-on-1s, 2s-on-2s, and a lot of good situations. We got a head start there because we are in the Hall of Fame game, which I think is very fortunate for us this year to be able to add those reps, time on task, as we say, to our football team. So we're super excited about that.
Caleb said that he believes he's exactly where you guys want him to be. Do you agree with that? And what progress has he continued to make over the last couple?
I would agree with that. He's really made some big strides here. I mean, we're talking about a massive amount of reps. And to me, he's really starting to pick up his leadership too, because now he feels comfortable in the offense. You can see him really starting to help coach other guys, encourage other guys, bring guys together, which he's done in the past. And that's a good sign too. Okay.
So if everything's going well, why don't we take this thing out of the garage for a spin tomorrow night and let's see it play? Why not play him? And I get it. A starting quarterback hasn't played in the Hall of Fame game since 2015. But what's the difference in the risk of playing in this preseason game as opposed to the next one? That's the part that's confusing to me.
I think there's the sensible side of approaching these things, and then there's the entertainment side of approaching these things, right? So at the end of the day, whether people are aware of this or not, I'm going to let people in on a little secret. Football is a part of entertainment. It's reality television at its finest. People may not really know that, may not categorize sport that way, but that's what it is. It's a production. It's a show with real life characters that go out there and entertain a viewing audience. To say that you're going to do, let's just say a show where Bob Barker has been the host of that show for, forever, or Pat Sajak or Alec Trebek, all of these amazing hosts of shows, and say, you know what, this is the first show of the season. We're going to use a backup. Their reps have been amazing. They're right where we need them to be. You know what? Vanna White is in mid-season form and turning those letters around and hitting those letters. We're going to put the backups in and let them do the show. From the entertainment standpoint, that makes absolutely no sense because this is the first game, and it's the only game that's airing. So to put him in for a series does not hurt anything at all. Now, on the sensible side of it, to put them in for one series doesn't make or break what they have going on. So from the coach's standpoint, if he doesn't want to risk any of his starters, sustaining any type of injury, because he said all starters. He didn't say just Caleb Williams. He said all starters, which means that he just does not want to risk any unnecessary injuries. I get it. I really do. When I played in a Hall of Fame game, and we played literally 1 or 2 series, and we were done. And then the rest of the guys, went in there, and they were auditioning for their job or putting film together for what would possibly be the next team that would, possibly use that film and say, we want to give this guy a chance on our team. That's generally what preseason is for. It's for the 3 or 4 guys that are trying to make the roster, make the team. And it might be the number might be higher from time to time, but generally it's not a very high number of guys that are on a roster that are playing on second and third, even fourth team. They're not going to be there. So this is really an opportunity for those guys to get impactful reps. But now that's the sensible side. That's the business side of it from the football side. And I don't see there being an issue with that, Jonas. But with that being said, it goes back to the reality television show, right? It goes back to the production show of it. You have the number 1 overall pick. He's got a lot of attention on him, doing a lot of interviews. A lot of people are paying attention. A lot of people want to know what he looks like as a pro, and you don't want to give him a smidge. You don't want to give him that as they would say. You don't want to give him that sample. Like you saw how they gave him the sample of that Blue Magic. They came back. I think if I'm being honest, he's not going to play enough reps where you're going to be able to say, oh my gosh, like he's the next Montana.
Right.
This is not going to happen. So there's that, but to not put him in at all, and he's a rookie, I don't know.
And
I don't buy it.
It's almost like this is just the status quo. This is the way that it's gone because, if Teddy Bridgewater was the last guy to starting quarterback to play in a Hall of Fame game in 2015, I look at it and some of the reasoning I've seen behind it is, well, you haven't had enough practices to just be thrown in there in an actual game. And I'm thinking, well, neither is Houston. Like, they're in the same spot, too. So it's not like, they've been playing for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then the Bears just showed up 10 days ago with a few padded practices, and they're going to be thrown out there. I look at it, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's not a big deal at all, probably. But I look at it and I go, I just don't know where you pick and choose what's risky and what's not when it comes to the preseason. Like, it's just like a preseason game's a preseason game. Like Rex Ryan putting Mark Sanchez in the 4th preseason game to where he gets hurt, which led to Brady Quinn actually getting signed by the Jets that year. That's just reckless. Like, I don't understand why Rex Ryan had his starting quarterback in the 4th preseason game and scrambling to boot to where he got annihilated and knocked out for the year. Like, I get all that, but this one I'm like, good, it's a Hall of Fame game. Let's come on, man.
You want to laugh at something? I think that happened to Cordell Stewart in a preseason game with us.
Really?
I laced his ass up. I put him in a body bag, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. Laced him up. It was like a naked boot.
Hey, Lee, can we look that up? Google search LaVar Arrington lacing up Cordell Stewart. Just do it, just that exact search. Or if you want to go more detailed, go LaVar Arrington puts Cordell Stewart in a body bag.
Try to look up what year, maybe 2003. When did Tommy Maddox play? Because that's what led. Was it 2001? Was it that long
Tommy
ago?
Maddox was a little bit later than that. I think he was because Ben Roethlisberger got. Well, no, yeah, you're right. Probably 2001, 2002. It was right after the XFL because Tommy Maddox had that XFL year where he was the MVP, and then the Steelers signed him. So yeah, you're probably right. Around 2001, 2002, because Ben got drafted 2003, and that's when he started as a rookie because Tommy Maddox got hurt.
Tommy Maddox ended up coming in and playing because Cordell was never the same after I hit him. Never was the same. So I'm looking at their schedule.
You laced him up?
Bro. He thought he had the juice, and it wasn't worth the squeeze that day.
Was it a Hall of Fame game?
No, it was a preseason game though. I do recall it being I'm looking at 2001's. It doesn't have in this one. It doesn't have the preseason games, but it doesn't have the preseason games.
Lee's efforting.
Okay, I was looking for, but
August 18th, 2000.
It wasn't 2001.
2001.
It wasn't one. Because we're not on there.
Okay. Yeah, well, we will.
It might have been like 2002 or 2003. It feels like it would have been 2002, 2003. But he tried a naked bootleg, and I believe it was a preseason game. And, man, it was bad. It went bad.
By the way, we should also mention congratulations are in order for DJ Moore.
He got paid.
Yeah, he got paid. He got a 4-year extension with the Bears for $110 million. That's $27.5 a year, $82.6 million guaranteed. So obviously not up near the Justin Jefferson or surpassing Justin Jefferson, but it's also somebody that was a part of that deal that ended up turning into the number 1 pick, which ended up turning into Caleb Williams, which meant Bryce Young went to Carolina. DJ Moore was sort of added in, had career years last year in Chicago, and ended up getting paid afterwards. And from all accounts, great guy, great teammate, never bitches and complains, just one of those sort of quiet wide receivers who just goes and does his work, and now he's going to get an opportunity to stay a little longer.
Like he did an interview, and I want to say it was with The Pivot, but, man, he said some pretty interesting things, and it made me wonder, and it was about the Carolina Panthers. There were like 4 dudes. 2 of them went over 1,000 yards receiving. 2 of them went over 1,000 yards all purpose. C-Mac was out, injured, didn't even play. And he felt like the team was going in the right direction, and they blew it up.
Yeah. Look at Brian Burns, Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore. I don't know about you, but that's like a lot of talent that you drafted, was in the building, and they just decided, now we're better off going another direction.
Seems strange.
Yeah,
man.
I don't get it.
And made Matt Rule a scapegoat of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's rough.
Seems strange.